Hi everyone, this is Julia Katsivo, success coach and strategist. How are you doing this evening? It's Monday, August 8th. It is a few minutes before 7 p.m. And I did send out a notification today to say that I was going to be here live on Facebook and that I was going to talk to you today about one of the first questions that people ask me. And if they don't ask me, one of the first questions that people ask themselves and they don't know what to do, and the question is, where do I start? I want to do this. I want to build myself. I want to go on a journey, and they don't know where to start. So if this is you, I want you to jump in. I want you to be here with me. This is going to be a great 1 hour that we're going to do this and enjoy ourselves as well. I'll take your questions and help you out here on your journey. So again, the name is Julia Katsivo, and what I do is I help people transition from their 9 to 5 and into the entrepreneurial life, or actually what I call their dream life. So it depends on what it is that you're looking for in your life, and what I do is I help you out there with it. I help you to build strategies and to overcome those mindset challenges, those terrible mindset challenges that make it pretty difficult for you to go out and do what you love to do, and to connect with your audience and to solve problems and whatnot. So we're here right now, and we are going to be talking about where you start on your journey. I invite your questions. You can always email me, julia@katsivo.com, and let's get started on this. We're going to have a lot of fun today, okay? One other thing, it's Facebook Live, so you gotta use technology and you gotta just really dig in and enjoy it. So I'm going to really try my best here and do this. If you're wondering again what this is about, it's Julia Katsivo, success coach and strategist, and today we're going to be looking at, where do I start? What do I do? Where do I start? And it's such a common problem. It's such a common problem, folk. I remember when I started out on my journey, I would just be frozen. I would just think to myself, how am I going to do this? I didn't even have the first inclination of where to go, how to start, and the truth is, it's not that we don't know what to do. It's just we need to know where to begin, that first step, right? You want to know what direction you're taking it in. And that's where you want to go. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about where you start when you want to go off into your journey and to start the entrepreneurial lifestyle. So again, welcome and thank you for joining in. Please ask your questions. You want to ask your questions because, you have me here. So, a lot of people will tell you this. A lot of people who've been in business for a really long time, or people who just started off a few years ago when this wasn't even possible. There was a time when we didn't have this kind of information available to us. There was a time when we weren't able to look at people we could ask live questions about our most pressing problems. I remember, and it's not too long ago, folks, but I remember when I would have to go to the library to get my information. But then now we have the internet, and we can ask the people that we admire, or the people who are walking our road. We can ask them sometimes in lifetime. We can ask them our most pressing questions. And I fully take advantage of that, which is why I'd like to offer the opportunity for you to do the same. If you want to know where to start, if you want to know if an entrepreneurial journey is right for you, if you want to know if you have a future with your dreams, or if you have a place where you can go, if you're just feeling a little bit lost and a little stuck, then you're in the right place, because I'm here to help you out. I'm going to give you some awesome nuggets of information, and I want for you to take this information, to absorb it, and then to reflect on it. I do a lot of writing, paper and pen. If you see my books and pen, I'm old school like that. But at the same time, I do use electronic devices to write information. So what I'd ask you to do is just take down the notes, take down what's important to you, and also just take down everything, because maybe something wouldn't make sense for you today or right now, but it will make sense for you later on. So this is what I encourage you to do. So again, welcome. Let me know you're here. Let me know your name, and let's have some fun with this. This is going to be a really good time here. So you're listening to me on Facebook Live. It's Julia Katsivo, Success Coach, and we're going to be doing this here for the next little while. Where do I start? What do I do? How do I go? Now, there are many stages to this journey, and a lot of things that get quite complicated. So, for example, sometimes we like I'll get these questions where someone will ask, should I even be on this journey? Should I who do I think I am? And the truth is, I've got some information here that you just have to stick in and listen, and I believe you're going to love it. But the truth is, a lot of these things always start with belief, self-belief. And you will find that many people go into business for different reasons. Obviously, you need to make money. You're in it to make money, but that is not the starting position. So it doesn't really work out for you if you walk into this saying, I want to just go into a business to make a ton of money, and money is your motivating factor. That's not enough of a reason that will keep you going for a long while. And that's not where I come from. So right off the bat, I just like to make it clear, like, what I stand for and who I am and what I do. So when I say that when I help people transition successfully from their 9 to 5 and into their dream lives, into the entrepreneurial lifestyles, I'm talking about heart-centered entrepreneurs. Actually, I'm talking about dreamers pretty much, right? So what I'm doing is I'm saying that, okay, I know you're in this 9 to 5 because you feel like you have no other options, or that this is it for you. And I know you feel like you're not able to leave your dreams, just have to just stay dreams, that there is no place for them because you don't feel you know how, or you don't have the time, or the age factor is not working for you. You have all these responsibilities. But what I'm here to do and say is that that's not true. There's always a way, especially if it's a dream that has been given to you, something that is just so fierce, it just will never die. And that's why I come in. So I come from a purpose-driven approach. So it's not the money side. And it really pains me when I see people who have amazing talents, amazing gifts, amazing products and services, and they're not successful because they don't have the tools that enable them to go out and reach their people and do what they need to do. And this makes me sad because usually it has to do with a lack of self-belief and also just information as to where to go. So I hope to answer some of your questions today, but I'd also like to tell you at least 4 things that you can take away with you today that will help you know where to start. So again, let's jump on this and let's talk. Let's do this. It's an incredible thing here that we have something like Facebook Live where we can interact like this, where you can listen to me and where you can hear from me and where we can do this live one-on-one, where to start. So let me know if this is you, if you just feel overwhelmed, if you look at some of your plans and your dreams and your goals, or some of the things that you want to achieve, and you just feel like, oh my gosh, where do I begin? Like, where does this go for me? What's in this for me? Like, how do I start? And the reason I say this is because there's usually just one consequence of this happening, and the consequence is nothing takes place. We get overwhelmed, we feel stuck, and so we just drop it, right? We drop it, like we just say, I can't do this, so what's next? What's on TV? Or let me go watch a movie, or where's that book, or where's that advice, or let me go to work. At least at work I know what I'm doing, because I think at the end of the day we all want to know that we know what we're doing, and we want to feel like we're in control of what we're doing. And in this life where you're trying to follow your dreams, there is no control, there is no path. It's a lot of uncertainty. But you can always, always, always have a vision and a sense of direction, and that's what we're going to do today. So thank you for joining me and welcome. So the first thing that I'm going to tell you is this. When you wonder where to start, when you think about what it is that you want to do and where you want to go with your life, and you wonder where to start, The one thing to consider is this. You always want to be in the business of solving problems. Okay? So if you look at business, however you understand it, and whatever your background is with it, I'm just going to speak from the position where you honestly, you don't know much about it other than what you've seen, because you're mainly the person who goes to work in an office. So a lot of those elements are taken out for you, right? Like you just do a lot of the front end stuff where you come in and you do your job and then you go home. But there's a lot of background stuff that takes place that constitutes business. And that's the stuff that we need to bring into the foreground so that you know how to go out and to make your dream a success. Eventually. And I say eventually because it's not going to be easy and it's not probably going to happen all at once. There are a lot of series of steps that have to take place, but this is the first one, is we need to come from the point of view of solving problems, right? So when we look at Business 101, when we look at a business function, the reason for a business being in existence, the reason for a professional being in existence, when we look at basics, we have 2 points to consider here. And again, thank you for joining me. Come on in and join us here today. We are looking at 2 things. The first thing is that people pay for solutions. So that's the first thing that I want us to consider. People pay for solutions. You pay for your electricity bill or your hydro bill because you need the heat, because you need the light. So that is a solution that you pay for without thinking about it. The only time that comes into question is if you don't have the money or if you're not receiving good service. And that's what makes you realize that you're not getting your solution, which is a problem, right? And the second thing is that while we pay for solutions, it's your business to provide a solution so that you can get paid for it. So I'm going to show you this. I don't know if you can see this, but it's just plenty and plenty of notes. It's plenty of notes because that's how I am. Like I go in there and I just like, so I'm going to just put some things away here for you, but it's plenty of notes because I go in and I'm like, what's going to be of value here? What's going to make a difference in your life? Because if I don't make a difference in your life, then I'm in the wrong business. And that's sort of the attitude that you have to take is people will pay for solutions and people will pay for problems to go away. So the first thing I need to do and where I need to start is to solve a problem. So that's really the first place where you're going to start. The first place you're going to start is to solve a problem and to figure out what that problem is. So while you're here, I'd like you to think about it from this point of view, okay? So I'd like you to ask yourself some questions and then write down these answers for yourself. They'll help you just get down to the heart of it and what it is that you want to do here. And the first question that you ask yourself is, what am I good at? Now, we're complex beings, you know, so I can ask you this question and it's simple enough. What are you good at? Like, what are you really good at? But you're going to sit down and probably freeze for a few moments because there are all these things that come to mind and then there's nothing at all. And you can't really pinpoint anything and you don't know whether you should include some things. We overthink stuff, basically. We overthink stuff. If you think about it, there's something that you're really good at that you don't even question yourself, you know. Like sometimes someone will say, you know, you're a great communicator and you might say, no, I don't think so, because you're not sure. But there's some things that someone can say to you that you're very sure about. Someone may say to you, you're a great communicator, and you will agree. And it's not because you have an ego, but it's because you agree. It is true. You are, you know, a good or great communicator. So what is it that you're good at? What is it that's yours? And whatever it is, it doesn't matter if it's big or small or, you know, minuscule in your perception. What is it that you do so effortlessly that, you know, people just come to you for that or know that they will receive that from you because you do it effortlessly, which means that you just do it without even trying. What is it that you're good at? Okay? That's important to know because what you want to know is from that is how to capitalize on that. So how to do that. So one of the rules of business is to make sure that what you're producing to sell, or what you're producing to provide as a service, that it's at a very minuscule cost of production, right? So that's where you're going to get your profits from. So when you think about what it is that you're good at, what it is that you do effortlessly, then the cost of production is very low, because this is something that is effortless to you. It is something that is in plenty. It is something that can be provided on demand. It is something that is of value to others. And now the next step after that is to figure out what people would pay for that you are good at. What solution do you provide that people would pay for? So, that all just ties in with the first point, which is to solve a problem. When you're looking at your journey and you're thinking and you're wondering, where do I start? Where do I begin? The very first thing is, what problem am I solving? Something about the problem solving, we like to create a lot of problems that don't exist, right? So we'll come up with solutions and we'll say, I've created this great product or service, and you'll explain what it is, and it sounds like a good idea, but maybe it's just not needed right now, or the audience isn't there for it. And one of the ways to know this is this: do people have to go through hoops to get what it is that you're offering? That is, do they have to be in this position to get that position, to do this and the other, so that they can get what you're offering, right? So as an example, if you're a speaker and you have a particular target group that you go to, that you have a niche product for, so there's something that you do for them. Maybe you motivate them to work better at their goals at work. So, you go to different corporations to try to do that, to motivate their employees to work better at their goals. How do you present this in a way that isn't work for your corporation, so that they hire you easily, and so that it's beneficial for them to take their employees out of the office, to sit down, to listen to you, however many they are, to get value and to apply directly to the job that they're doing? So for you, you may see that this is of value, because I'm going to help people to make better plans with their goals at work, which will help them to be more productive or effective. But when you look at the people that you're going to, is that true? Is that what they need from you right now? Or is that maybe a better service to offer to self-employed people? Because they're the ones who really need help sticking to their goals and committing to them, and are probably in a situation where they're more likely to pay for your services because they see how it'll directly translate into their results. Just that sort of thinking, where you might think that you have something of value, but is it solving a problem? So an example of something that solves a problem is, I like the wording that's used on is it Tylenol or aspirin, or one of them? But the wording that I like that's used there, it says for temporary relief of, and then it'll say headaches or whatever the case may be. But what that bottle does is it tells you what it's going to do. It says that right now you have a headache, I will give you temporary relief. That's what it does. So when you have a headache, you go there, that's what you're looking for. Done. Like solving a problem. So what is it that you do? What is it that you provide that's going to make someone feel relief? Right? That will make someone feel like, okay, I got it. I can move on. Because fundamentally, all we're interested in, human beings, is living our lives. Like, we really don't care about anybody or anything else other than our lives and those that it affects. So anything that makes our life convenient, anything that makes our life pleasurable, anything that makes our life productive, doable, we're in. So if you're able to satisfy such a need, then you've got that first step down packed. So think about that. What problem are you solving? Because businesses are in it to solve problems. You must be a problem solver. If you are not solving any problem, then that is the first place to start. Figure out what problem that you are solving. And it goes without saying, but I will say it. If you can solve a big problem, you get a big paycheck. That's how it works. Okay? So what can you do? And then do it. Offer it. And it leads me to the second point. The second point is don't delay. Once you figure out your solution that you're offering, then don't delay. Because the minute that you figure out your solution, then you will know who you're going for, right? You'll know the people who need the solution. A lot of questions come about with where do I go, who do I target, how do I approach them? And I have a lot of classes and workshops and resources to do with that. So throw me a line, julia@juliakatsivo.com, so that I can connect with you. But really, if you think about it from the problem-solving point of view, then the question to ask yourself is, so this is my solution. So who has this problem, right? Who has this problem? And go out and find them. If you know what your solution is to the problem, then you will know where to find your people. You will know where those people are, and you will go to them. And again, sometimes we really overthink things. We really overthink things, and we sit down and we think that we have to come up with all these diagrams and charts. And let's just start with basics. Let's always start with what we know or don't know, and then build up on it. So you have your pressing problem. You have your solution that you are going to be offering, and that's where you're going to start. And then now you're going to not delay by going out and finding your people. And finding your people is a matter of thinking about the ideal people for your solution. So the people who have the problem, who are looking for a solution right now. So back to that example of the Tylenol or aspirin, let's just say painkiller, right? So you have a headache and you need something. And, something from that's been manufactured that will give you relief in like 20 minutes. So where are you going to go? Are you going to go to, the footwear store? No. Are you going to go to the supermarket? No. You're going to go to the place that will sell your stuff. And it's going to be the place where you go buy any kind of medicine for anything. So you will go to the pharmacy. So that's where you're going to go. And you're going to find your product there. Now, if you just reverse that and say that you're the business person, or you're the person who wants to live your dream life, you're the person who has something that you want to offer to the world, and you're that medication that's not in the pharmacy, when the person is coming around looking for a solution and they don't find you, guess what they're going to do? They're going to buy from the person who's there. And if it's not you, it's what is now called your competitor. So the key is for you to be where your people are, always and forever. And that means that you take action. At this point, sometimes we really delay because we wait for perfection and we wait for things to like just fall into place. So if it's products that you're producing, then you wait for the inventory and you wait for the money so that you can go out and create the inventory. If it's a service, then you wait for the perfect website. And then you need, let's say you're a speaker or a coach, you need a video and you need this and you need that and you need the other. While you're busy doing this, the person who's looking for a solution has gone to look for you and found who? Your competitor. And trust me, at that moment, they're not looking to see who has the fanciest website or the best looking gimmick. They want a solution. They want comfort for their pain. They want to know that if I do this or if I take this, I am going to be okay. And you're not there because you're busy coming up with all these fancy things to do so that you can attract people. Go out there. So if you're product-based, what you want to do before anything is you want to get your numbers, you want to get your deposits, you want to get your money in, and then you will go and create your products. That includes books, that includes anything else that you're thinking of doing. If you're in the services industry, you want to go out, you want to start meeting people. Because services, before they buy your services, they will buy you. So you go out there, you want to start meeting people, you want to take them their information, you want to let them know what you're going to deliver, and then you can go home and you can create it. Because sometimes we create things before knowing what is even needed. It's fine if you have a solution, but you don't want to go put everything that you have into what you think you know. you have a solution, go test it out now. Go test it out and then get the feedback from the people that you're speaking with or the people who are coming back to you, and they'll let you know whether you're on the right track or what more is missing, if it's too much, if it's not enough. They will let you know and use that information to tweak along the way. Because, it's quite unfortunate, but a lot of mistakes are made when we try to figure out where to start with following our dream lives, and then we go put everything that we have right off the bat, put all our eggs in one basket at the front and say, oh, it's do or die. No, let's be smart. So we take little and then we go out and we feed it to the people and then we see what they say. If they like it, we go on. If they don't, no, go back to the table, try again. So you get that part, right? Okay, good. So I'm really glad that you're still here with me, and we're going to go through two other steps here. When you're looking at your dream life, your entrepreneurial journey, and you're wondering, where do I start, Julia? It's easy for you to say this. No, it's not easy for me to say this. I'm telling you what's worked for me, and if you look around, it's what's worked for many, many, many other people, and you will find that it works for you too if you just take big concepts and break them down into little things. So what do? I help people transition successfully from their 9-to-5s and into their dream lives. And the dream life for me is honestly just that life that you want. Now, your version of a dream life and my version of a dream life are very different. And so we get to judge each other a lot by what we perceive that means. So when I say I am living my dream life, some people automatically think, oh, you're rolling in money and life is good. You get to do what you want. And no, you don't know that. You never asked me what my dream life is. So it's the same thing for you. So maybe your dream life is wanting to do work that's meaningful for you. That for me is my dream life. Wanting to do work that's meaningful for me. Taking my experiences, my education, my skills, my talents, my gifts, my entire life and making it purposeful so that what I do at home and what I do at work and in between is all the same and it's all seamless. No clocking in, no clocking out, no looking at the time and wondering if it's time to go home. No looking at the time on Sunday evening and thinking, great, I have to go to work tomorrow. No looking at the time on Friday, waiting to clock out so that you can go begin your life because it's the weekend. Come on now. What kind of a life is that? For me, that's not the dream life. So whatever it is that you're looking for, and if you say, where do I start? How do I go? How do I do this? Well, your first two things are exactly what we said, is find a problem to solve. That's your first step. Your second step is do not delay. Do not delay. I have been able to do a lot of things that I do because I do not waste time. I don't care how afraid I am. I don't care if I understand. I go find someone who does. I don't care if I don't have the money. I make a way. I don't care if I don't. It's a no excuse zone. And I go out there so that I fail quickly, learn quickly, move quickly, and it gets you through to where you need to be. Now, there are ways to be smart about that. And like I mentioned before, you always want to start off with a little and then go out and test it, give it to people, see what the response is, and also be wise. If you're producing something that's ahead of its time, and you know that for a fact that you have this drive that says just be persistent. Maybe not now, it's not needed now, but it's going to be needed. Then don't just throw in the towel. Be wise. You're going to come up against a lot of disappointment, a lot of dead ends and dead space and dead everything. But all you have to do is push through it. If you really believe in your solution, if you understand the problem, and if you understand the repercussions of not having a solution to that problem, then you will push on and you will do what you need to do so that you can get to the place where people are there and they're happy that you stayed true. Right? Okay, good stuff. So again, if you have any questions, let me know. And you can always email me, julia@katsivo.com. We're on Facebook Live and we're talking about where to start. And I have 2 more awesome nuggets for you. Wait, first, what's the time? Okay, good. Okay, I have two more nuggets for you here that I'd like to share with you. And join me on my Facebook page and look out for more great stuff. I'm always into giving freebies, okay? So if you go on my website, juliakatsivo.com, and you see some of the things that I'm doing, or if you subscribe to my newsletter, The Excellence Seekers, and you see some of the events and something really, really appeals to you, then talk to me. I respect people who go for what they want, and as long as you're not creepy about it, you can get away with quite a lot in this world. If you go for what you want and you're persistent and you ask for it, there's a lot of stuff out there that you can get that is really valuable. So I'm just telling you, it's a great thing that you're here, and keep staying with me. It's an awesome thing. So something else that I'd like us to go into is the third thing, which is really, really important. Actually, more so maybe than the first two, because the first two I said was, solve a problem, right? And then the next thing I said is don't delay. A lot of delay is what kills a lot of things. But the third thing, and this is one of the things that I need you to take away today, is provide value. You always want to provide value. Now, I have something here that I'd like for you to understand when it comes to value. Again, when I was thinking about this content and what it is that I wanted to talk to you today about, I said, what is value, right? So we have different definitions of value, but I'll tell you the place where I'm coming from when it comes to value. Value is the perception one has. Okay, so value is the perception that someone has on a person, a product, or a service. And it is based on that person's circumstance. So it's the value that I have on you, your product, or your service based on my circumstances, and vice versa. So like right now I'm dressed to go out to take care of my fitness needs after this live event. And so in a little bit, water is going to have a very high value for me because I'm going to be exhausted, sweaty. I will need water to drink. So that is the value that I'm going to place on water based on the circumstance that I'm going to be in. Right now, I've had a glass of water sitting here for like the last hour and a half. Now that I mention it, I need a sip. But I've had a glass of water sitting here for an hour and a half, and its value is diminished to me because of the circumstance that I'm in right now. Right now, my internet connection is of the highest value because that's the reason why I'm here doing this. That's the only way I can be here doing this. So for right now, my solution to my problem, which is I need to reach out to my people on Facebook Live and speak to them about where to start, where to begin, what to do, how to go. I need to talk to them. So what is my solution? I need the internet. And that's the only way that my gadget is going to work. So gadget is there, but really internet is going to bring everything together here. And then in a little bit, when I go out and I'm working out, it's going to be water, because without the water, I will be in trouble. At that point, I don't care about the internet. I don't care about my gadgets. So that's value. So what you want to do is you always want to provide value. So the third thing is you want to provide value. You want to make sure that you are providing what you said you would. And so the value equals doing what you said you would do. Okay? Because when you went in, when a person came to you for a solution, they had a very specific problem, and it becomes your responsibility to fulfill the solution that you promised. Again, that temporary relief for pain, if you take the painkiller and it doesn't work, then you're forcing someone to take more, or you're forcing them to ditch that product altogether and go for something else that has results. So when we provide value, we're providing results, and we're doing what we said we would do. So something about that, you'll always hear that you should be in the business of provide more value, wow your clients and and give them more than they thought possible. And I think that people strive for that a little bit more than they do fulfilling the basics. And the basic is this: always solve your client's problem first. Anything above and beyond that is awesome. But if you don't solve that problem first, you have not only lost a client, but you've lost a little bit of that person's respect. Because you don't solve a problem and then you go on to offer something else that is not of value to them because the initial problem is not resolved, then it just sounds like you're interested in getting more money and that you really did not listen to the person when the person was talking to you about his or her concerns. So, when we say provide value, it's delivery, 100% delivery. So when you go out and you get people's information and you do what you do, make sure that you deliver, and make sure that you deliver it as promised. If you said within a day, within 6 months, within 6 months, whatever it may be. How you can wow someone, very simply, is if you promised results in maybe 2 weeks, do your very best to make it less than 2 weeks. That's wow. I mean, that person didn't expect that. Or, throw in a little bit of freebies or heavy, really deep discounts to other incredible products. But always and first and foremost, fulfill people's desires and needs adequately. And this ties in with the fourth thing that I want to share with you today, and that's that sometimes the solution may not come from you. You may not be a solution, but if you have the attitude of being a problem solver, then that means that you will always bring value to someone's life. You will leave that person better than he or she came and met you with, because you know someone who can help that person out. It may not be you, but you know someone who can. So strive to be that person who can connect people with people, who can bring solutions to others. And that is what will make you indispensable. So a lot of times we think that if we hang on to our trade secrets, the things that gave us what we have, that's what's going to keep us in check. Human beings, we don't operate the way businesses do, the way entities do. So hanging on to your secret sauce isn't necessarily going to make you indispensable, because there'll always be someone out there with something that tastes better. But what you could always do is you could always be of service. And that's going to make you indispensable, because you will be known as the person who offers solutions. Right? And everybody always has a problem. So if maybe someone comes to you and they say, I'm looking for a painkiller, but I'm not into the pharmaceutical companies. I'm looking for something natural. And you're the one who produces the painkillers for pharmaceutical companies. You might say that I don't have that, but I do know where you can go, or I do know someone I can connect you with who will help you with, your natural remedies, and then make that connection. You have solved that person's problem. So if you think about it from the point of view of, but then I'll be giving my competitors my potential clients who are chasing people away, then you live in a very stingy personal world. There's tons of space for all of us, to be honest with you. And if you really want to be of service, then what you're going to do is you're going to help people. You're not going to hide information from them. You're not going to keep things from them. You're going to help them. You're going to help them find what they need. And it will come back to you. Maybe not tomorrow, but it will definitely come back to you. More importantly, it'll teach you to have a generous mindset and a more open mindset that's open to the entire universe and how things work out. So instead of thinking of me and mine and how I'll keep this to me and mine, which is not going to work for you at all, you will be thinking in terms of sharing and caring and helping others along the way. So the same way, like you're watching this and you're wondering, where do I start? And I'm sharing this information with you, is you're going to take what works and you're going to go out and share with others. But if we all hoard information and we keep it to ourselves, it just makes for a really small, selfish world, and it doesn't move far because there is no room for growth, right? So the 4 things I'd like to leave you with today, and again, just thank you so much for this opportunity here to be able to speak to you about where to start, is the first thing is be a problem solver. So your job, your responsibility is to solve problems. And the second thing is don't delay. Do not delay. Do not delay. Once you figure out the problem that you're solving, once you understand fully what problem that you're solving and the solution that you're bringing to the market, go out, test it out. Don't wait to see, for a better platform or for more people, or go out and do it and then see what works, tweak it. Just do what you need to do to make it work for you, okay? And also the third thing then was to provide value. And the fourth thing that I wanted to leave you with here today was to always be in service, where you can always provide value. There's always something that you can do. Even the days when you feel like you can't or you're too exhausted, leave yourself open to helping others. And in essence, you'll be helping yourself. We seem to have a bit more of a cheery spirit when we're generous and when we give to others, because we receive so much more than what we've given. So to keep that in mind. So again, I'm Julia Katsivo. Join me on www.juliakatsivo.com. Email me, julia@juliakatsivo.com, and let's keep in touch. I'll be out here on Facebook Live shortly, and we will be talking about other wonderful things, such as, where to find your clients, how to find your clients, how to price, your pricing structures. A lot of different wonderful things will be coming your way. So keep your eye out for it, and let's talk soon.